That's another one. No means no. It's like, no, it doesn't. All right? Look, no means no. No, that means no. All right, but no, stop it. What are you doing? Oh my God. You're being so bad. Stop it. No. Yeah, that's not a fucking no. That means I want to do it, but I'm afraid you're going to judge me, so I'm just going to make it look like it was your idea so you don't figure out that I've already performed this act with 40 other fucking people. Right? But then you go to court and you get a bad read and there's some guy reading it. Your Honor, she said no. Stop it. What are you doing? You're being so bad. Yeah, and you're just sitting there like, she didn't fucking say it like that. She didn't say it like that. Like, I was afraid of my dad when I was growing up, you know? Anybody have a dad like that? You're just afraid of him? You know, not like those sitcom dads. They come home, the kids are like hugging their legs. My dad pulled in the driveway. Me and my brother's freaked like, fucking dad's home. Shut off the TV. Try to hide. Dude, if I stand like this, do I look like a lamp? He won't see me, right? Can I just fucking chill out here? He wasn't understanding. When you fucked up, he told you. He didn't sit down, well, we're going to work it out. We'll just, I still love you. He looked, what the fuck is wrong with you? Jesus Christ, you're an idiot. Weren't you even paying attention? No, bullshit. Christ, you're just like your mother. You're fucking out to lunch. That was my dad. No matter what he was bitching about, somehow he would make it about my mother. It would have nothing to do with her. He could somehow find a connection and spin it back. He'd have said, is it raining out? Oh, for Christ's sake, I don't need this shit. Christ, it's the same goddamn thing with your mother. That woman is a fucking cloud hanging over my life. Anytime you got an idea, Christ, she shits all over it. No, he was hilarious. He used to work all the time, so he didn't really have like any friends or anything. So he used to talk to me when I was 8 years old like I was a fucking bartender. Just dumping all his shit on me. Like playing in the sandbox, he'd be coming up there. I'll tell you right now, I don't know what the fuck I ever got married for. I'll tell you, man, I'm gonna get the fuck out. I swear to God, one of these days, I'm gonna get in the car, I'm gonna fucking drive out of here. Your mother's a bitch, Billy. Do you realize that? The woman is a fucking bitch. Is that too real for you guys? You fucking know what I'm talking about. This is how screwed up my country is right now. You know Bryan Cranston, right? That dude did a movie. He played a quadriplegic. And people gave him shit. Being like, why is there an able-bodied person playing a quadriplegic? It's because it's called acting, you dumb fuck. See, if he was a quadriplegic playing a quadriplegic, that's not acting. That's just fucking laying there saying shit that someone else wrote. So tell us, what did you do to prepare for the role? Well, I dove headfirst into the shallow end of a pool when I was 23. I feel like I've been preparing for this role for my whole life. Right, what is up next for you? Well, they're gonna do a reboot of Top Gun. I'm gonna fly it with my tongue. And the co-pilot's gonna be transgendered. So everybody will be happy. She won't die. Her discarded dick will block her head from the canopy. There'll be a gender-neutral bathroom on the plane. How fucking dumb is that? That's literally like watching a movie. Why didn't you have a murderer play a murderer? And how come the guy he shot, I saw him in another movie? I mean, what the fuck is going on? Married, I was making that. I'll definitely get married someday, I love women and everything. I'm just finding I'm not, like, compatible with them. You know what I mean? You ever just feel that? Like, women have, like, too much energy for me. You know what I mean? Like, you can't have a day off when you have a girlfriend. You ever notice that? It's almost like they see that open day. They're like, oh, my God, let's go fill it up with shit. No, then they just come at you with one horrible idea after another. Horrible ideas. Like, you want to make some sandwiches and go to the park? You want to go to the container store, get some containers for your t-shirts? This is the worst one. You ever get this one? You want to go to brunch? You want to go to brunch on Sunday? And inside you're like, fucking no! But you can't say that, right? You gotta keep them happy. So what do? You agree. Like, yeah, let's go to brunch. What a great idea. Why would you want to sleep in on a Sunday when you can go pay $18 for eggs? Now you're thinking. Now you're thinking. Then we can sit around and listen to your friends have moronic conversations about the eggs. Like, is that pesto? Is that pesto in your omelet? Oh, it's asparagus. It's asparagus. I thought it was pesto. Oh, you just want to flip the whole fucking table over? It's horrendous. I'm trying to learn to pick my battles when I date girls. I usually argue with women all the time, man. I'm stupid like that. You know? Like, I dated this girl one time. She was, like, really into, like, women's issues. So we used to always have these dumbass arguments. So one time she came up to me, she goes, okay, explain this to me, Bill. Why does a guy make more an hour to do the exact same job, huh? I go, I'll tell you why. Because in the unlikely event that we're both on a Titanic and it starts to sink, for some fucked up reason, you get to leave with the kids and I have to stay. Yeah, that's why I get the $1 more an hour. No, think about it. If there's a house fire, it's always women and children first. I got to stand there with, like, the back of my shirt on fire going, let's go, people, let's go, let's go. So that's how I look at it. No, it's $1 an hour surcharge. That if something fucked up happens, either I can't leave or I got to, like, get in the way of it to give you a head start, like, rabid dog, run, honey, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. You hear a bump in the night, I gotta go check it out, like, yes, he does have a knife. Anytime there's a hostage situation, who do they negotiate for first? Well, at least let the women and children go. Well, what about me? Bullets hurt me too. Why the fuck do I gotta stay in the vault? No, that's my point, man. Where are all the feminists in those situations? You know what I mean? You can't find them. There are no feminists in a house fire. That's a guarantee. You could take the most hardcore feminist, some chick right in your face, like, he's chauvinistic son of a bitch, little short, little haircut, the whole 9 yards, right? Second those flames break out, she's gonna twist those little hairs into pigtails. No, I'm just a girl. I want to go play jump rope. And leave you standing in a burning house like you're not flammable. You know, but I'm not a dick, though. I'm not saying I think a woman should make $1 less an hour to do the same job. All I'm saying is if you're gonna make what I make when the boat sinks, you better be standing right there next to me, listen to that guy play the cello. Then you get the corner office. You get all the benefits or whatever. Actually, Nerd Jesus died in the last year, right? Steve Jobs. Yeah, he died, right? I know, a lot of nerds here tonight. I know, you're sad. I didn't get it. I didn't get the big deal they made about that guy. When he died, they were like, he changed the world. That was insane. He changed the world. The world was one way, and then Steve Jobs came, and it was another. What did he do? Somebody, for the love of God, what the fuck did that guy do? What did he do? He told other people what to invent? I want my entire music collection in that phone. Get on it! Right? And then these poor, nameless, faceless scientists gotta go in a back room and figure it out. How the fuck are we gonna get all of this into this? I mean, what year does this guy think this is? This is crazy. This is like Buck Rogers. Dude, my kid has a birthday in like 11 months. Steve Jobs just walking by. I don't hear any thinking going on in there. Just strutting around the office, eating some pretentious fruit like a pear, right? Just throwing out ideas. There's another one. There's another one I just came up with on the way to work.
I was reading a magazine the other day, turning pages, you know? I like to turn pages on a screen that aren't even there. Yeah, wrap your fucking heads around that, guys. See you in 8 years. Where you going, Michael? Big, little, get on it. Right? And all these people slave away to make his vision come true. And then they have the big nerd fest, right? Down there, Comic-Con, and all their nerd mecca. They're all showing up with their Acne and their Hulk shirts, limping into the arena, right? Does Steve Jobs go out with a whole chorus line of scientists? No, he goes out there by himself. Sneakers and no belt, like it was no biggie, right? like he's Tesla. Tapping into the atmosphere. I know, this is always uncomfortable. I know, you bought into it, right? That whole advertising, the way they aligned themselves with some of the greatest people of all time. Jesus, Gandhi, me. Remember that? Muhammad Ali, John Lennon, this guy. How the fuck was that dude like any of them? Gandhi didn't have a sweatshop. Nah, he didn't have people leaping to their deaths only to catch a net and get ricocheted back through the window to have to put together yet another iPad. John Lennon didn't have children in his basement pressing those fucking albums. I know. New phone can't fit the old charger. This is your hero? This is the guy? This is what all the silence is about? New phone can't fit the old charger, so then you gotta throw it out, ends up in the ocean around some octopus's neck. Do you realize how much sea life is ecstatic that man is no longer walking the earth? That's where it all ends up, you know. Doesn't go in a landfill, ends up in the ocean. You realize that? I hate people who say I don't pollute. I don't pollute. Yeah, you do. You use shit and you throw it out. Well, you think because you put it in like a basket, it just poof, disappears? Everything you ever used is somewhere. You ever think about that? Remember that flannel shirt you bought back in the day when you got into Pearl Jam? That's out there somewhere. Probably on some porpoise's face. He's trying to get it off. Stupid little flippers. All the fads. You remember rollerblading? Remember that? Everybody had them. We set up cones, we did little tricks, right? One little homophobic joke killed that entire fad. What's the hardest thing about rollerblading? Telling your parents you're gay. Full-grown adults. Dude, I'm not gay. I don't have the cooties. These mean I suck dick. And they just threw them out. They end up in the ocean. They're made out of plastic. They can't biodegrade. They just break down to little cubes. Fish are breathing them in. 6 months later, you're going out, you're getting sushi, you think you're being healthy, you're eating your old rollerblades. All right, I'm out of time. You guys are great. Thank you. Thank you.
And then also, you can't tell other people's kids not to do stuff.
Right.
So you got to kind of like be loudly like, hey, he's climbing up on the utility pole, and kind of hope that somebody does something. Well, back in the day, you could yell at people's kids, and I think that needs to come back, and that's what's holding back this country. Long story short, Hugh Jackman plays the part of Gary Hart, and he was amazing. And I had a really fun scene where we were tailing him, we were chasing him down this alley, and he's like the nicest guy ever, but he's a big guy, he's like 6'4", and he's ripped. And we went down the alley, and his character's mad at our character, and he just turned around and looked at us, and for half a second, I was like, oh, that's Wolverine. And I legit got scared, and he's a big guy, you know? So what's funny in this scene is as the reporter, I have like a notebook, and I dropped it. And after the screening, we went to the Toronto Film Festival, and all these actors are coming up to me. I love the choice you made. I love the choice you made to drop the notebook. I go, no, dude, that was real. I was like...
A Rolex?
Yes, it is. I finally bought one. 25 years in this business.
Is it white gold or stainless?
I don't know what it is.
Is it heavy?
No.
Then it's stainless.
Oh, is that what it is? Well, thank you. Thank you for taking my watch down a notch. I finally felt successful. You see this? You wouldn't say that if I had brown or black hair. I guarantee you. Blonde hair, you'd be over here giving me your watch.
love the racist white guy thing. A bunch of racist white guys. They came out of the forest and they were just going Trump, Trump, Trump. It's like, where were all these racist white guys the last 2 elections when they could have voted against a black guy? They were fine. Oh, I don't mind the black guy, but this white lady, we got to stop her. She's going to take her four-wheeler.
So your Christian background is part of the show. Or at
Yes,
least
and
2
I wanted
episodes.
to talk to you about Jesus after this.
Well, the only reason why I bring it up is sometimes
You are the whitest person I've ever seen in my life.
Yes, served me well. I've never worked for anything. Yeah, I was born on a yacht. It's just all been downhill.
I don't even mean it in. I don't mean it in a genetic way. I mean like.
I do.
You.
I'm talking full-on white privilege. I was stunned when I first heard about white privilege. I had no idea what it was. It's like, hey, everybody doesn't get to do this.
It seems as if the sun
Pulling
has
up
never
to job
touched you.
interviews right as I get out of the car. You're hired. Go home. We'll see you tomorrow. You never saw Weird Science? How creepy these nerds are. All these cameras on your phone. All of that. Do people go on Ancestry.com? Why would you send your saliva into the internet? Why would you do that? Why don't you just go to the Illuminati and help them build your robot replacement?
Being a mother is the hardest job out there.
Most difficult job, and Oprah said that.
Oprah said that, yeah. Has your opinion on that phrase changed at all since you've had a kid?
No. It's not the most difficult job on the planet. It just isn't. Dude, I did roofing in July. As a redhead, I almost died. There's people that work on like oil. What was that movie that guy made? The oil, the fucking, they
There Will Be
drill
Blood?
oil. What is it?
There Will Be Blood?
There Will Be Blood. The out in the ocean, they would drill. I can never remember the names.
Deepwater.
Mark Wahlberg was
Deepwater
in it.
Horizon, yeah.
Those guys were working on an oil rig. The fucking thing blows up. They're on fire. They got to jump into water that's on fire. Salty water into their wounds. You got to swim out of that oil and fire and then tread water, praying to God that the Coast Guard is going to get there before the sharks do. Now talk to me about a toddler. Oh, he was so fussy today. He wouldn't eat his peas. Yeah, and just the level of reward that is, as annoying as a kid is, like they smile at you and it's over. It's over. So, I mean, you don't get that, working on an oil rig when your buddy's greasy face lights up. You know what? It really is all worth it. At some point, I was going to make a point here. That's why I keep looking at here, and I just realize I'm blocking myself out of the camera. I love that you have the jib camera for this, like it's an action movie. Let's swoop in at these two guys sitting in these unbelievably small chairs. I literally feel like I'm going to fall onto the floor. This is insane. You really went all out with the audience, though. They got full-size adult chairs. Are these like from the 20s before they had like horse tranquilizers in our food? When everybody was like 5'1"?
What did you say about the military that got people so mad? Or this one guy so
I was
mad?
just saying, the guy who flies the fighter jet, okay, and has missile shot at him, that guy's a hero. However, if you're the guy that, points in the direction that the plane takes off in... You know what I mean?
Oh, I shouldn't have to wear a mask. I don't want to wear a mask. I don't buy it. And then there are people that...
I love those people.
What?
Yeah,
you like the people that flip out?
Yeah, don't wear it.
Yeah.
Don't wear it. Go kill yourself. It's awesome. Because I have to be honest with you, I know a lot of people died from COVID, but I'm starting to see the traffic come back, and I selfishly thought I wish it killed a few more.
All right. So
Yes, I am.
second season.
The deepest couch in sports entertainment.
A lot of people think that they're uncomfortable with my elevation. Are you uncomfortable with it?
No, I just see all of your insecurities.
Your giant desk.
There you are. Look at Billy.
How are you?
You look like a fucking prize.
My stupid headphones to work here. Something that'll work. Let me see if these ones will work. Hold on a second.
No, they work good.
My headphones aren't working for me, though.
Oh, okay.
It's about me, Nick. It's not about you here. Here we go.
Dude is knocking it out of the park. He's one of my favorites. Here is Bill Burr. Look at you.
How are you?
Oh, it's
I
good.
love that you did the audience applause for everybody. Yeah, there he is. Come on. Keep it going for him.
You just had the baby, right?
Yeah, little Friday morning. Friday morning. I did. My wife did. I I didn't do anything. I felt unbelievably useless. I was in total panic mode. When I dropped her off at the emergency room, she goes, all right, you got to go park the car down in the spot. And I swear to God, I was in such fight or flight. I was driving down there. This voice in my head just said, just keep going. Just keep going. Just drive away. Which of course I wouldn't, but I started laughing. Isn't there like a Bruce Springsteen song about that? Going out to get cigarettes and there's something hilarious about people abandoning their family where like, I just can't imagine like the hell that you would be in to do that move. But just knowing you were going to do it, like the level of excitement that you would have before like, okay, I'm going to go get some cigarettes. And I'm never going to see you people again, your mother-in-law. All of this stuff is over. Fly a lot, and there's this whole new thing of generation of people that take their socks and their shoes off on the plane. You got to look at their smelly feet, and then they'll literally stand up and they will walk into a commercial airline bathroom. Yeah, use it and then walk and sit back down again.
That's not right.
Yeah, if I was a dictator, those people would be eliminated.
A lot coming from the Hillary Clinton camp that Trump is bad for children. And they had a lot of ads that said, children are watching this guy.
Oh, we all know
talk.
that children 5 and 6 years old are always tuning into the debates. Taking notes. That's what I did when I was a kid. I'll never forget that.
So this is we're very you wouldn't know that we like each other. Let's try to tone it down.
No, I'm not. I'm just.
No,
I know what happened.
You came right at me just saying my theory stunk. I'm just here to promote a cartoon. I'm a dancing monkey today. I'm trying to be a good guy. I want people to like me and watch the show here, and you're coming at me. I don't know anything about hoop. I'm a 5'10" white guy.
What is this? Rock 100.5. This is the worst interview I've ever done. And he's wearing Stetson cologne or something. It's just really overpowering. How you doing? You know what he looks like? He looks like the first guy who gets his ass kicked in a Steven Seagal movie. No, the background guy behind the big kingpin. Why don't you handle this?
Like there's a danger to buying that car. That big yellow. They see that big yellow prancing pony, and they just come out. They come up out of the manhole covers. All these gold diggers, like a zombie movie. And that is a gold digger magnet. And they are so good at it, they can look and tell if it's rented or not. They know where to look for the sticker. I don't know how to do that.
Oh, there we go. No, but now this is like the ego one. Now I'm going to be sitting above you. Yeah, you got to come with two. It's fine. It's fine. Sir, the one comedy through line that's working here is me shitting on this chair. Why would you take that from me? You're just totally going against the grain. I understand it. But you got on camera, so I think you get paid, even though this is online.
I got to tell you how I discovered you.
I do owe my whole career to you. Yeah. I was struggling until Bobby Lee discovered me.
Oh, no, not discover you in terms of like, you did it on your own, obviously, but no, in terms of my awareness of you.
Oh.
Can I tell you that story?
Oh, no, I remember it was a big day in my career. Bobby Lee is finally aware of me. Am I on Bobby Lee's radar?
See, this is what he's going to...
This is when things start to happen.
I'm not going to allow this to happen.
Reversal.
I'm not going to allow this to happen.
Reversal.
Yeah. I'm just going to plug away. You know what I mean?
Listen, you can talk to him all you want. I can hear it.
Bill, how are you?
What's going on? Oh, thank you. Thank you, all 7 of you. And the 4 Kevin Harts.
Yeah.
Is he in the black section of the crowd? That's what it seems like. They've moved up to the middle. Progress. I like it.
I've always kind of been slightly dubious of a comedy competition, though.
You don't have any confidence.
No.
You can't get up there and just do your dick jokes better than other people?
No, I can't. I feel like it's not the right way to go about it.
All you have to do is be louder than someone else.
Oh, I can do
and
that.
Flap your hands around. You're guaranteed to make the finals. I built a whole career on that.
Every time I go into a store and I see something, they go, can we get a phone number? Watching somebody give them the phone number. Why would you do that?
Yeah.
I always give the same. Mine is all area codes. They go, what's your phone number? I'm like, 323-818-2125.
We've never taken a break in the middle of a gas station.
I know, I had all this momentum going. Now I got to start all over again. Go ahead. Go to the card. See this? We won game 1. Here comes the second of the doubleheader. Conspiracy theory has gotten a bad name where now it's become synonymous with like moronic thought. Like if you're into conspiracy theory, if you think like the bankers need to be stopped, then you also think the moon is made out of cheese, and you think that there's shifters and like lizard people. You know, they just try to knock it down. It's like this country started with a conspiracy. That's how it came. We won, so they're considered heroes and rebels, you know, or whatever, revolutionaries. But if they lost, they would be hanged for conspiring. Yeah. It's not like it spontaneously happened.
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden everybody just picked up a gun and started shooting at the British. You know, they sat around.
They planned it out.
They planned it out.
Yeah.
I'm kind of getting tired of these people.
It's funny when you said we won. I'm like, did we really win? But I understand what you're saying. Now,
is that African American thing?
Yeah.
Or whatever, incognito. You're an enigma.
What, because I make a pie? No, you know what it is? You're not a good listener. You've known me for 10 years. You have no idea who I am. It's all about comedy with you and moving up the ladder and pushing people
Now, are you getting out of an existing house and
No, I'm going from a one-bedroom apartment, and I figured I'd finally go out and buy a damn house and not have to deal with, you know, some jerk living above me or below me.
All right.
You know?
Yeah.
Do my own little thing. Get my little 12 gauge, get a bunch of cans of tuna, get ready for the apocalypse. That's what I want to do.
But is that, were you funnier, or was it just you enjoyed the difficulty more? I mean, I don't know if it makes you funnier because it's a harder show to do, or it's more.
I don't either.
Yeah.
I don't either. But I will say that what I liked about it was that you know, just that those years where you just like, you know, so much of your stand-up career is just one impossible situation after another, and you're just standing there trying to do the math, like, how the fuck am I going to get these people? We don't have a microphone. Is that going to be a problem?
Can you do 10 minutes while the band changes?
Yeah.
No, I can't. They're just going to take the instruments off and on the stage. No, that's not how it
and
works.
as you're doing it, they're coming in there tuning up. Done gigs in hallways.
Yeah.
Hallways, areas that met in a hallway, cafeterias at like 1 in the afternoon.
Sure.
The college kids have no idea there's going to be a show, and they just go, we have a comedian, his name's Bill Burr, here he is. And then you just walk up there and have to do an hour.
Sure.
Just an hour
I know.
of humiliation. I would always say to myself, in an hour and 1 minute, this is going to be over. And I'm going to be in my car driving away. And that's what I would do. And the part that I hated was the waiting to go on.
Yeah, I still do.
Once you go on, it's the hourglass has been turned over.
Yeah.
The sand's starting to fall. And every second you're up there, whatever hit you take, that's one less one you got to take.
Yeah,
and
it's true.
I used to always call it my college agent afterwards, flipping out, going, I'm fucking done with these things. I'm never fucking doing this again. I don't give a shit. He'd be like, all right. And then he knew I needed the money. Then he'd call me up and he'd be like, Billy, Scott Bass. That was my agent. Scott Bass calling. I know you said you're not going to do this, but I do have a nooner. I'm going to build around it. And, you know, by then I'd be at home. And I cooled off. It was a couple weeks later from being on the road, and the rent was coming. I needed the money. And he would be like, all right, it's going to pay $700. It's like the middle of Iowa for $700, all inclusive.
Actually, I got a couple of friends of African persuasion, and I got to get rid of them, man. I got to admit to you. I'm finding I'm spending too much money on clothes hanging out with them, because I got to fucking try to keep up with their wardrobe. It's like every time they go out, they got all brand new shit on. All brand new shit. So when I show up with my white version of brand new, which is, I ironed the shit, right? I ironed it, right? It's new. They just start trashing me. I can't keep up with them, man. They got fucking 58 pairs of sneakers. Ever notice that shit? Every color fucking Timberland. And I don't give a shit what fucked up color their shirt is. They got a pair of shoes to match it and a hat. It's like a rule or something. They're the worst. Even when you wear some new shit, there's some sort of rule that you gotta space out the amount of time within which that you wear it. Because God forbid you wear the same shirt within a 10-day period, one of them's gonna notice. All of a sudden just look at you funny this motherfucker's got the same shit he had on last Tuesday. And then the whole car's like, oh shit! Then everybody just starts making fun of your fucking clothes. First they do the math, what was that, 5 days ago? 5 days? This motherfucker got 5 shirts! You got 5 shirts! And they start breaking it down. Yo, his first shirt be saying Monday, next shirt be saying Tuesday. Yo, on the weekend, he ain't been wearing no shirt. I'll tell you, it's actually funny. You know what? That's actually how I judge black guys now. When I first came to the city, like, all black people scared me. No, I was like the typical white dude from like the suburbs, you know what I mean? Had no frame of reference, you know? So my only frame of reference with black people was like, remember those early 90s gangster rap videos? Throw the fucking LA riots in there, man. It was fucking horrible PR. I'm watching the videos, look, he's got a nice car, he's got all the women, and he's still fucking mad. These black dudes are never happy. But after 10 years of living in the city, this is how I narrow it down. Whether a black dude scares me or not. Black dudes with dirty sneakers scare the fucking shit out of me. No. I figured out in my head, because I know from hanging out with them, that's the last shit that they're gonna let go. The immediate shit that they have on. So I think, you know, if his sneakers are fucked up, that means his life is fucked up. Every time he leaves his building, the whole neighborhood, oh, shit! Everyone starts making fun of him. He's on the train in a bad mood. I kind of have this howdy-doody, kind of mug me kind of face. I'm not saying something's going to happen. I'm just saying. I'm paying attention. So I've been seeing this girl recently. This black girl, right? She lives up in Harlem, you know. Gone out like 3-4 times, you know. First time we hung out in like the Village area in New York, you know, which is sort of like a racially mixed area. So shit was cool, you know what I mean? Second time we hung out was more like Midtown, you know. Then the third time, she called me at like 3:30 in the morning, and she wanted me to come up to her apartment, right? So it's 3:30 in the morning, she lives in Harlem, I look how I look, so it's a fucking situation. Yeah, because you know the deal, right? Basically, a white dude feels comfortable up to about like 98th, 99th Street, you know what I'm saying? The second the streets start getting into like triple digits, like 100, 101st Street, start getting like a little asthma, like, ah, fuck, it's starting to get a little high up here. You feel that little tightness in your chest? Can you feel that? 106th Street, you're like leaning on shit like, dude, where'd all the cabs go? How come there's no taxis up here? Dude, what's a bodega? I don't know what that is. Let's get the fuck out of here. So I'm praying to God she's gonna tell me to take the subway, get off at like 105th Street, 103rd, you know, which is like the first stop in Harlem where I can still look over my shoulder and see like all the white people like disappearing over the horizon, you know? But she goes, no, man, you want to get on the Uptown 2-3 train, you want to get off at 125th Street. I'm like, God, fuck, 125th Street. Jesus Christ, that's like right in the middle of everything. I'm going to be surrounded on all four sides. I can't fucking do this. So, at this point, I'm really trying to hide like the bitchy tone that's starting to creep into my voice, you know? And I'm trying to ask for really specific directions for when I get up there, because I want to know exactly where I'm going. So she starts naming the streets I have to go down, and every other street up there is named after like a black leader, you know? She's like, make a left on Adam Clayton, take a right on Frederick Douglass. I'm like, ah, fuck Adam Clayton. Yo, dude, go on the internet, look up Adam Clayton. Did he kill a bunch of white people during the slave revolt? Dude, I ain't going up there till I know what Adam Clayton did. Fuck this shit. So at this point, I'm really having a battle with myself. Because I'm thinking I can't do this, right? I'm like, I can't do this, but my dick's going, no, come on, man, we can do this, all right? Just relax. Pull yourself together and get on the goddamn train, right? So as always, I listen to my dick. Oh yeah, I get on the train. By the time I get up there, it's like 5 or 4 in the morning, right? I'm staying on like Malcolm X and like Danny Glover or some shit, right? I don't even know where the hell I'm at. But I see the street I want to go up. I want to go up St. Nick. I can literally see her apartment building, but there's like 5 or 6 black dudes standing right on the corner, right where I want to walk by. So I'm like, fuck! Felt like I was on like some reality show at that point, like some sort of like white guy survivor. It was ridiculous. So I'm thinking I gotta walk right by these guys, right? You know what's funny? I think that they were actually more surprised to see me than I was scared, you know? And I was really, really scared, you know, but I'm also really, really white, you know? Like shockingly Caucasian. You know what I mean? Like if you're not ready for me, I can like surprise you. No,
know, especially if you live up there. You've probably seen a white person for hours, possibly days. So when I show up, it's almost like magical. Like a leprechaun came out of nowhere, you know? Felt like I should have had like a little pot of gold, like a rainbow behind me. Top of the morning to you, latte. Kind of danced my way past them. But it's been going all right, you know? Once I get in her apartment, I'm fine, you know? I relax, sit down, you know, watch a hip-hop countdown. Pretend like I know the groups, you know what I mean? It's just getting there that's a fucking pain in the ass. But, you know, I don't get mad at it, because I figure, you know, black dudes got to go through the same shit, though, right? When you go out to the suburbs, go fuck a white girl, right? Just that same awful feeling of just leaving your people behind, you know, just less and less of you as you're fucking driving out there. Probably start off lean and you're all fucking cool. 20 minutes in, you're driving like 10 and 2. The radio's off, like, dude, I don't like this shit. I don't like this shit at all. There's too much grass. I don't see any rims. This is fucked up. None of the windows are tinted. I can clearly see white people in every car. This is fucked up. Listen, you guys were awesome. Thank you so much for coming out.
South, man, I had a real weird experience last time I came down here. I was in Nashville, right? Sort of an awkward social situation, right? I'm sitting at this bar. There's this white dude sitting like 2 stools away. I don't know him. He doesn't know me. And that Terrell Owens story was in like sports news. So I try to make conversation. I'm like, man, look at this guy. This guy just signed a $40 million contract. He's already bitching, man. How much money do you need to make? And the dude looks at me. He's like, you know what I say? And then he looked over his shoulder, which I now know is the telltale sign that the N-word is coming, and it's coming hard. Oh yeah, it's not going to be pronounced with the A, it's going to be with the R, and he hit the R, he like stuck the landing. There was like a dismount, Klan members high-fiving in the background, like doing the wave. Just out of nowhere. So now, immediately, I'm looking over my shoulder like, dude, what the hell are you doing? You know what I mean? I'm waiting for like this hail of black fists to come raining down on top of me. I hate when people do stuff like that. That dude made me part of like a potential ass kicking that I had nothing to do with. You don't do shit like that. He just had that word, hot potato, just threw it in my lap. Like, trying to pass it down to the next white dude. I hate when people do that, man. You know, it's like, dude, feel me out first. Ask some questions. Do you like to fish? Have you ever fucked your sister, right? I start rattling off answers, then you go old school. You give me a pamphlet, you tell me about your militia. Don't just dive into it. That dude was one of the angriest people I ever met. I should have known that word was coming, because he was just watching Terrell, right? Anytime I would bring up, look at man, that guy's talking trash, he would just like flip out. He won't shut up! You know those people get like so mad they're not even looking at you? Their eyes are up, you just shut up and play the game! You know what's funny? I don't even like Terrell, but now I love the guy. Because every time I see him talking trash, I know this idiot in Nashville is just losing his mind, like kicking over his kitchen TV. Shut the fuck up! I like violence, man. I am. Not like when it happens to me or if I see it live. I like watching it on TV, you know? Watching people, you know, get attacked by animals. Just get blasted in the face or something, you know? Like, I'm a huge sports fan. You know what my favorite, like, moment of, like, the last year was in sports? That Detroit Piston, Indiana Pacer bench clearing brawl. Wasn't that great? That was one of the greatest things I've ever seen. I was so confused when I watched ESPN that day. They were like, that was absolutely disgraceful. Basketball fans, they just must be a... I'm sitting there looking like, I'm a basketball fan. I loved it. I thoroughly enjoyed watching out-of-shape civilians get the shit kicked out of them by professional athletes. It was fascinating. And I think as sports fans, we kind of had it coming, right? Because how many times you gone to a game, right? You got a little too drunk, you started screaming at some dude on the field who could clearly kick the shit out of you, right? If you saw him in the parking lot, you'd be like, hey, can you sign my stamp collection? I think you're awesome. You get in the game, you're all drunk, you're like, you suck, buddy! You're a piece of shit! And they're always calling him up, come on up here! No, come on up here! Well, they came up there. They did, and they kicked the shit out of everybody. It was great. It was like a cartoon. You're like beating up whole rows of people at once, like. I loved every second. I love how Ron Artest punched the wrong guy. Wasn't that great? He taught that dude a valuable lesson in life. When shit goes down, you don't just stand there like you're watching a movie like, wow, it's coming right at me. Must be in 3D or something. That was a 5'6", 110-pound white dude, had an angry 6'10" black dude running right at him. That had to have been in his top 3 nightmares all time. Right behind getting his dick cut off and being lit on fire. And he just stood there. He's like trying to explain himself. Well, I still have the liquid in my cup, so there's no way I could have. He's an idiot.
No means no, that's another one. No means no. It's like, no, it doesn't. All right? Look, no means no. No, that means no. All right, but no, stop it. What are you doing? Oh my God. You're being so bad. Stop it. No. Yeah, that's not a fucking no. That means I want to do it, but I'm afraid you're going to judge me, so I'm just going to make it look like it was your idea so you don't figure out that I've already performed this act with 40 other fucking people. Right? But then you go to court and you get a bad read and there's some guy reading it. Your Honor, she said no. Stop it. What are you doing? You're being so bad. Yeah, and you're just sitting there like, she didn't fucking say it like that. She didn't say it like that.
So, I'm sick of Obama's wife. Yeah. This isn't some Republican rant either. It's just kind of first ladies in general. You know, I don't know what it is. All throughout my life, with each presidency, like these first ladies, they've just gotten more and more like chatty. You know? More and more chiming in, like leaning into the frame, spitting out their ideas. It's just like, well, why are you talking? Right? You weren't elected. Shut up. Your husband's not running a lemonade stand here. He's running the country. You don't just chime in. Let me guess, is this considered sexist? It is? Why? Well, okay, you just nodded there, lady. Let me ask you this, all right? Let's say you had a leak in your house, okay? You call a plumber up. He shows up, and he goes, yeah, I think the leak's coming from the upstairs bathroom. We need to shut it up, blah, blah. Then all of a sudden his wife walks in, who isn't a plumber. And then goes, hey, you know, I'm actually thinking, wouldn't you be like, with all due respect, shut the up. I need a plumber in this moment. I'll extend an olive branch here. All right, at some point, there's going to be the first female president, right? Exactly. Which means at that moment, you're going to have the first male first lady, right? And when that happens, that dude needs to shut his trap. I don't want to hear a word out of him. I want to hear from the president. You, sir, go do some first lady stuff, all right? Go get yourself some gloves that go up to your elbows. Smile and nod during speeches. Go put your own flair redecorating the White House, right? Which leads you to Michelle Obama, right? Now she's sitting there holding up those hashtags. Remember that hashtag, bring back our girls? Remember that? It's like, it blew my mind. It's like, why are you showing me that? I'm a stand-up comedian. Like, what am I going to do to get those girls back? Why don't you look across the dinner table? It's like, you see that guy? That is the leader of the free world. Tell him to pick up a phone, call some Navy SEALs and solve it. What am I going to do? Show up with a sharpened mic stand? Hey, Michelle said to bring him back. So let's talk white women here, shall we? Let's talk white women. White women, you're amazing. Amazing, your accomplishments over the last few years. I got to tell you, the way white women somehow hijacked the woke movement, generals around the world should be analyzing this. Just to refresh your memory, the woke movement was supposed to be about people of color not getting opportunities, the at-bats that they deserved, finally making that happen.
And it was about that for about 8 seconds. And then somehow, white women swung their Gucci-booted feet over the fence of oppression and stuck themselves at the front of the line. I don't know how they did it. I've never heard so much complaining in my life from white women. My life is so hard with my SUV and my heated seats. You have no idea what it's like to be me. Trash and white guys, the nerve. Where's the camera? The nerve of you white women. Listen, I don't want to speak ill of my bitches here, okay? I don't, but let's go back in history here, okay? You guys stood by us toxic white males through centuries of our crimes against humanity. You rolled around in the blood money, and occasionally when you wanted to sneak off and hook up with a black dude, if you got caught, you said it wasn't consensual. Yeah, that's what you did. That's what you did. So why don't you shut up, sit down next to me, and take your talking to? Thank you.
I will get married, you know. I was making that. I'll definitely get married someday, you know. I love women and everything. I'm just finding I'm not, like, compatible with them. You know what I mean? You ever just feel that? Like, women have, like, too much energy for me. You know what I mean? Like, you can't have a day off when you have a girlfriend. You ever notice that? It's almost like they see that open day. They're like, oh, my God, let's go fill it up with shit. No, then they just come at you with one horrible idea after another. Horrible ideas. Like, you want to make some sandwiches and go to the park? You want to go to the container store, get some containers for your T-shirts? This is the worst one. You ever get this one? You want to go to brunch? You want to go to brunch on Sunday? And inside you're like, fucking no! But you can't say that, right? You gotta keep them happy. So what do? You agree. Like, yeah, let's go to brunch. What a great idea. Why would you want to sleep in on a Sunday when you can go pay $18 for eggs? Now you're thinking. Now you're thinking. Then we can sit around and listen to your friends have moronic conversations about the eggs. Like, is that pesto? Is that pesto in your omelet? Oh, it's asparagus. It's asparagus. I thought it was pesto. Oh, you just want to flip the whole fucking table over? It's horrendous. I'm trying to learn to pick my battles when I date girls. I usually argue with women all the time, man. I'm stupid like that. You know? Like, I dated this girl one time. She was, like, really into, like, women's issues. So we used to always have these dumbass arguments. So one time she came up to me and she goes, okay, explain this to me, Bill. Why does a guy make more an hour to do the exact same job, huh? I go, I'll tell you why. Because in the unlikely event that we're both on a Titanic and it starts to sink, for some fucked up reason, you get to leave with the kids and I have to stay. Yeah, that's why I get the $1 more an hour. No, think about it. If there's a house fire, it's always women and children first. I got to stand there with, like, the back of my shirt on fire going, let's go, people, let's go, let's go. So that's how I look at it. No, it's $1 an hour surcharge. That if something fucked up happens, either I can't leave or I got to, like, get in the way of it to give you a head start, like, rabid dog, run, honey, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. You hear a bump in the night, I got to go check it out, like, yes, he does have a knife. Anytime there's a hostage situation, who do they negotiate for first? Well, at least let the women and children go. Well, what about me? Bullets hurt me too. Why the fuck do I gotta stay in the vault? No, that's my point, man. Where are all the feminists in those situations? You know what I mean? You can't find them. There are no feminists in a house fire. That's a guarantee. You could take the most hardcore feminist, some chick right in your face, like, you chauvinistic son of a bitch, little short, little haircut, the whole 9 yards, right? Second those flames break out, she's gonna twist those little hairs into pigtails. No, I'm just a girl. I want to go play jump rope.
and leave you standing in a burning house like you're not flammable. You know, but I'm not a dick though. I'm not saying I think a woman should make $1 less an hour to do the same job. All I'm saying is if you're gonna make what I make when the boat sinks, you better be standing right there next to me, listen to that guy play the cello. Then you get the corner office. You get all the benefits or whatever.
I was going back and forth with somebody this morning, an East Coast friend of mine who I hadn't talked to in a while. How you enjoy being a dad and blah, 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 blah. And then she hits me up with the whole, hey, I'm turning 50 this year. I am not happy about it. I said, yeah, I turned 50 last year. She goes, how was turning 50 for you? You know, she goes, you're a guy. You probably don't care. It's much harder for a woman, especially with our careers. Oh, did I have fun with that? You know? I just wrote back, where? Jesus fucking Christ. You know what I mean? White women complaining is one of the funniest. It's like you got a fucking house and a beautiful family. What is the fucking... It's so much harder for me. You're going to outlive me by 6 to 8 years. So me turning 50 is like me turning like 56, 57, 58. You don't hear me complaining, you know? You never hear me complain on this podcast. This is nothing but positivity, rainbows, and fucking unicorns. Yeah, I love that shit. It's harder for women to go to the gym. It's harder for us to lose weight. Well, then fucking work harder. You know, everybody's different. Oh, is that where it's harder? You know what's harder for me? Trying to get some woman to pay the cover charge and buy me drinks. You know, it's harder for me. Divorce court, outliving you. I mean, it balances out, ladies. Getting child support. Yeah, that's harder for me because I'll be the one paying it. Then all of a sudden it costs $900,000 a month to raise a fucking 2-year-old, right? I just don't understand the constant complaining by white women. Okay, you're white. You live in America. Shut up. Okay, wait till the other problems are solved, and then we'll get to you. You're at the meat counter. Your number isn't up yet. Wait your turn. All right? Wait your turn, Abigail. Do you know how much harder? It's so much easier for you to go to jail. It's not easier. Men's lives are harder because we have to live with you guys. Oh, man. I want to become friends with a lesbian couple, and I want to, like, be friends with, like, the chick in the relationship that's got to handle more of the dude shit. You know, because, you know, opposites attract, and I would think even, like, in the lesbian community, there's going to be somebody, you know, who's out there swinging the axe, getting the fucking firewood, while the other one's in there making the muffins. That's the lesbian I want to talk to. Right into my podcast, please. You know, I want to know if those lesbians, on average, die sooner than the dainty lesbian. You know, the lesbian who's got to go out on the fucking roof and adjust the fucking DirecTV satellite fucking thing in the middle of the fucking rain. That's who I want to hear from. That's the study I would be doing.
We're laughing already because here in the Cayman Islands interview lounge because comedian Bill Burr has stopped by this morning. Bill, thanks for coming to the Cayman Kind Studio.
Oh, thank you for having me in the Cayman Island Memorial Studios.
That's what it is.
Something like that.
And we're glad to have you. You got a busy week. We're just looking at your schedule. You're going to be on Fallon and Conan, right, this week?
I'm Media Boy this week. I got a new animated show, or a cartoon, as I still call it, coming out on Netflix called F is for Family. 6 episodes. It's about this family, the Murphy family. It takes place in 1973, and it's the 70s as far as how Mike Price, one of the co-creators of the show, how we remember it.
And your voice of the dad.
I'm the voice of the dad, who's an amalgam of my dad, Mike's dad, and everybody else in the writer's room. It's basically, we set it back where in that time where you could, you know, kids today, they wear helmets when they ride bicycles, they have play dates and all that, and back then they just sent you outside, like, get out of here. Let's go outside. Yeah, you could literally bring a gun to the airport back then if you had your briefcase. As long as you didn't wave it around, it was fine. It was just like a different time, and I just throughout my career I've been telling like family stories on stage, and they always did well. And then somewhere about 8 years ago, as that play date generation came of age, it started getting like not groans, like started going like that. Even though that they had dads like my dad.
Right.
Like that dad still exists and mom still exists, but now it's like socially this whole, oh, that's bullying. Oh, that's traumatic for the kid. And it just became like this overly thinking things. And so I just got frustrated and I stopped telling the stories, but I knew they were still funny. And one day I was walking my dog. I was like, what if I just animated them? And I just was going to do these little 5-minute vignettes on my website, like, Burr family goes to get a Christmas tree and then all the dysfunction. Of course, being a comedian, I procrastinated and I never did it. So then one day I had a meeting with Vince Vaughn's company, Wild West, and I just sort of just threw it out there, and they were looking to do the show. Then we got in business with Netflix, and Netflix came up with the brilliant idea to serialize it, which I didn't know means have one episode leading to the next one,
Right.
which really took the writing to another level. And then here we are, 4 years later.
Yeah. No, I mean, we had a chance to watch it today. First of all, it's called F is for Family, but probably not for the family. It's an adult version.
Well, it's not for
adult
kids.
show. Right, not for kids.
Yeah, but families will totally be able to relate to this. If you want to go
understand,
and
yes.
if you had any sort of family that I grew up in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, how close is it to your family? Like, how many kids did you grow up with?
Oh no, it's we had 6 kids. So
Okay.
there's only 3 kids. I mean, you're not gonna have 6 different kids in drama. It's not
it's
like
hard
Top
to
Cat
drama.
where you can have 20 cats running around. It becomes a pain in the butt. So you just sort of like I took
It's a lot of
pieces. Yeah, pieces of all. Just pieces from my life. Every writer. What I like about it is my family can watch it and not be like, oh my God, you put all our dirty laundry out
Right.
there. But they will see elements and hints and stuff like that. And sometimes it's just a 10-speed bicycle. Other times it's like a catchphrase. Like my dad saying, I'll put you through that bleeping wall was something that he used to say. And
You can't say that now. Dads can't say
Yeah, you
that.
can.
You can?
You can do
My
all of
kids
that
threaten to
stuff.
turn
Like,
me in.
There's this
Yeah,
whole
me too.
there's this whole Chicken Little, the sky is falling, and that people believe you can't say thing. Like that stuff you were talking about, like the polar bear with the
Yeah, the
scar.
Starbucks cookie.
It's the Starbucks
Yeah,
polar bear
that is
cookie,
one of
yeah.
the biggest non-stories I've ever heard in
Yeah,
my life.
yeah,
Like
it
it is. Its throat's flash. No, it's a scarf. We screwed it up. It's supposed to be a scarf. Oh, okay. That's
It's a
what it
huge
should
story.
be. It's supposed to be everybody flipping out.
Right.
Half of those people flipping out about the polar bear. You know they have iPads and flat screen TVs that all end up in the ocean,
Right,
which is
right.
why those polar bears are drowning.
That's why, yeah.
But you're not going to adjust that part of your life, but you're going to bitch about the cookie.
Right.
Yes.
But
Yeah, about the cookie.
Yes.
But F is for Family. When is it available on Netflix?
December 18th.
Okay.
All you can binge watch all of them.
Binge watch. They're all there's
So it took us over a year to draw and do all that. And
Well, that's what people do now.
You can watch it all in about
That's
2
what we're
hours,
gonna
40
do.
minutes, and be like, "Hey, when's the next 6 coming out?" But I'm really proud of it. It's not just like we can curse on the show, which we
Yeah.
obviously.
That's what I
we
meant by
do.
saying for the kids.
Yeah,
you know.
but there's still a lot of we still. There's that baby of the greatest moment in the end, like when it
Right.
always came back. And I just remember with
Right.
my family, we're going to get a Christmas tree, and there'd be all this traumatic dysfunction of
Yeah.
trying to get the army of kids and everybody into the car and having the whole thing
Station
work.
wagon, right?
Yeah, and then, but then in the end, the fire's going, you're decorating the tree.
And it all works
Yeah,
out.
and everything settles, the dust settles
Yeah, it's all
back
good.
down again. Yeah, it was very.
No, the show is great, and we really enjoyed it. And it's funny, and it does have that that honeymooners kind of like you said, baby,
That
you're
element,
great.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a really cool to watch it because to me it's a period piece. I grew up in the '70s.
Right.
Phone on the wall, like you said, the Stingray's a 10-speed bike, so it's gonna be fun. And I think even for a younger generation to look back and go, wow, that was probably a cool time to grow up.
But also, I think a lot of them can also relate to the same stuff. I mean, we're going to have, kids wanting, taking out the family car, kids trying to hook up, and...
You got some big stars, some big voice stars.
Oh,
Laura
yeah,
Dern's in
yeah.
it, right?
Laura Dern does the voice of Susan, Frank's wife, the character that I play. Justin Long does Kevin. Haley Reinhardt from American Idol
Yeah.
does the voice of me, Little Me, I should say.
Oh, is that right?
Debbie Derryberry,
Nice.
if you watch any Pixar movie, she's probably in all over it. Gary Cole, Dave Keckner.
I mean, it's a big name.
Sam
how
Rockwell.
Does that happen? Like, how do you get these people?
You know
on
what?
board
We
for
wrote a
that?
great script.
Right.
That's what happened. We wrote a really funny script, and then I forget who signed on first. But once you bring one of them in the
Right.
boat, then all of a sudden it becomes, oh, this is a real thing. And it was probably the most exciting thing was getting
people that I have all that respect for
Right.
to actually react to what we all wrote. And we had a great writers room: Dave Richardson, Emily Towers, Tom Giannis, and I just remember laughing the whole time. I mean, there's obviously, it's always hard when you first start an episode, just getting the rock moving up the hill. But once you got that first draft and after the second punch up, that's when it really got fun. And that's when you could really tighten it up and really,
How many episodes?
There's 6.
Okay.
So they kind of gave us
So you
6
got
just
the
to
groove.
see how it does. And how it works at Netflix is they put the whole thing out at once. And then if people respond to it, then they just do an order of the second season. So when that's going to happen, I don't know how soon.
You need
that
views,
happens,
right? I
so-
mean,
I'm
that's
sure.
that's how it
Yes.
works,
Yeah.
right? With the-
And we're also coming out the same day as Star Wars. So
Oh.
I'm hoping,
That's right. You can't get tickets to Star Wars, so
yeah,
This is, if you have
maybe people
Netflix.
will watch. People telling me I'm going to watch while I stand in line for Star Wars.
Yeah,
I'm
just
going
do
to
that.
binge
Sleep
watch
out
this
overnight.
stuff.
But that's what people do now. Christine is, got me into Walking Dead, and
Oh,
that's
yeah.
how you guys watch it. Just
Binge watching.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Oh,
watched
yeah.
Bloodline, and I
Oh,
watched
yes.
Peaky Blinders. I'm watching Fargo. And,
It's
I
too
just-
easy. I mean, because
Yeah.
the next one just rolls and rolls, and you
Yeah, next thing you
can't
know,
get
it's
off
4
the
in
couch,
the morning.
right?
You're like, oh my God, I got to do radio here.
Just want to see what happens in the next episode. Okay, I'm watching another hour. And then it goes and it goes. But I mean, Netflix is such a great venue. They've got, I think, the most Golden Globe nominations.
Oh,
It's
is that right?
Yeah. It's
Are they not
like the
afraid
place
to
be.
be not politically correct? Because I mean, in parts of the show, there was like, wow, you.
Well, no, yeah, the
you know what I'm saying?
networks, their notes were basically push it further. It was the dream.
Wow.
But that whole political correctness, it's just, I swear to God.
That's your hot button, Bill.
No, it's like, it isn't though. It's just like people are adults. They understand. Look, if animated characters can destroy all of your parenting in 6 episodes, you're like the worst parent ever.
You're the worst parent.
Yeah,
ever,
or there's something wrong with your kid. He was just born with the Damien seed or whatever. It's just
it was refreshing to see that you do those things because, ironically, and I think maybe that was the inspiration for it too, is that's what you got away with in the 70s. You couldn't do Archie Bunker now. Maybe you could do
You
it.
totally could.
Right?
If the networks
You could
and
be
the advertisers could just stand up to these, like so many of these groups, they're just bullies and they deliberately take things out of context. Look, I'm a believer that if you're wrong, you apologize. But you don't let somebody, if they take something out of, like that stupid polar bear.
Yeah.
It's like, no, it's a scarf.
Yeah.
It's a scarf.
Yeah.
So now I have to apologize because you think we... Like, what kind of a dope thinks that Starbucks is going to have a bear with a slit throat in the holidays?
Yeah.
Like, they sat around and have, that's what we're going to do. We have polar bears with its throat cut.
Wait a minute, do we know?
This will drum up business. And then I think
Have they
it's also...
apologized yet? Do we know? Because they
No,
probably no, they haven't apologized yet. Okay.
But I think it becomes like clickbait. It's really lazy journalism, and it's an easy thing. I swear to God, like comedians get more blowback than bankers who depleted the savings of people who fought in wars for this country, and they're eating Alpo now, sitting in some old folks home instead of their house that they should have had. And those guys, none of them go to jail, but God forbid you tell a joke in a strip mall that somebody and one person out of like 400 doesn't like it, and that becomes a story, and they write a blog about it, and they treat the blogger like they won like a Peabody Award for the New York Times. It's just some dope in the crowd who sat there and watched 100 subjects go by, and everything was funny, and then it came to their part of their life, and that was a statement.
Yeah.
He meant that one.
It struck a nerve.
Yeah, they're babies.
Have
They're
you,
babies, and if you just stand up to them, they're bullies.
Have you changed up your stand-up at all? Because
No.
you said you felt it happen. Like you felt this change about 8 years ago, and a lot, Jerry Seinfeld, a lot of comedians have addressed this.
I never felt it in the club. I just saw people's I just saw how it worked. And I have a podcast network. Okay,
plug it.
The All Things Comedy Network. And when we have a friend of ours has a special coming out, we go, okay, we're all tweeting in 3, 2, 1, and there's like 400 or 500 of us, and we all tweet, and it gets momentum. That's 500 people in a country of over 400 million can get momentum on social media with 500 tweets at the same time. So when they sit there and they act like the sky is falling and everybody's freaking out, it's strategic. How you get offended. Right. Like, they're on, T minus, we're going to be offended. And T minus, and.
Well, I know, go back to Seinfeld, he won't do colleges anymore. At least that's what I've heard, because it's so PC that
I don't know that he won't
offended.
do colleges. I saw that interview. I think he was making, and that was another thing. He just basically said what was out there, And then even that was like, oh,
Right.
is he thinking about retiring? And even then they blew that up. It's
Right.
just constantly, I think because there's so many places to watch and listen to things now, if there's anything, if there's any ripple, you have to make it look like, oh my God, what is this?
Right.
And try to like just pumping everything up and making a story even when there isn't one there. So it's a cartoon. It's adult humor. There's adults.
It's fun.
Nothing bad is going to happen.
Yeah.
ISIS doesn't get stronger. it's just relax. Just sit down and watch it. If you don't like it, don't watch it. If you do, watch it.
Binge it if you do binge.
Yeah,
it's
that's it.
fun. It's F is for family, and again, it's available December 18th on Netflix. And,
Yes.
And again, you
Now,
can visit.
depending on the fact that I know you have mature adults listening to this, and they'll be able to understand.
They'll love it. They'll love
There
it
you
because
go.
most
We'll
of
have
them
a good time. Have a
most of
good
them grew
laugh.
up in the 70s. It's going to be a homecoming thing.
There you go.
Bill, thanks for coming in.
Hey, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Bill Burr in the studio, everybody.